Hello everyone, it's Ren here. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well today. You might notice that I am not speaking from my room. I am actually, truth be told, I'm on a break from work. I had a busy morning and a busy early afternoon, and there's a much needed break. So I'm deciding to release this video for you on this question of, ultimately what the priorities the priorities in life should be for INFJs. The question of wealth, the question of capital accumulation, the question of status, prestige, the question of what should ultimately be your own personal fulfillment and happiness, and does that require making certain kinds of sacrifices, which I think they're very important questions, but they're not easy questions. So I want to approach them with a certain level of tact and measure, but nevertheless I really think that they are very important questions. So let's try to explore that in more detail. What is it ultimately that's going to make you satisfied in your INFJ life? Is it going to be earning lots of money? Is it going to be having accrued a lot of social status, or is it going to be more so doing what you love and what makes you feel good? Right? Because doing what you love is also subject to certain further specifications. These questions have to do with INFJ life. They have to do with being an INFJ in the modern world, finding happiness, fulfillment, being happy when you go home, sleeping well, eating well, being full, having this sense of fullness in your life. These are very important INFJ questions, and you know what? Let me tell you what. I have a book that just came out, and that deals with these very questions. INFJ life in the modern world, namely the Infinite Soul. So if you're interested in exploring this topic in more detail, you should get this book. The link is right below. Be one of the many hundreds, actually more than 100 of you at this point who've already got the book and are already loving it. And let me know what you think, and leave reviews. If you love the book, 5-star review is always very welcome, as is a thumbs up to this video. But I have some followers who always joke that I'm always talking about my books. This one just came out, and yes, I'm in a different place, but I'm still telling you about this new book, so get it. It will answer many of the questions that I'm raising here in this video. But this question of wealth is one that I do discuss in the Infinite Soul, but it's just something that occurred to me today, because I'll give you the example that came to mind straight away, right? The example is the following. I'm in a position right now, right, in a university. I work in a university. I'm part of the administrators. I'm not part of the lecturers, unfortunately, alas, or not, because actually, in fact, I've only been in this position for 2 months, and I have to say that by and large, I really like this position. The subject matter is interesting. The work environment is really good in the sense that it's the opposite of toxic. There's very good harmony between people who work there, and I get on with people. There's a nice variety of profiles, because you don't want to be only with introverts or only with extroverts or only with T types or only with F types or what have you. And every day I wake up in the morning and I'm happy to go to work. In fact, sometimes I'm feeling a bit blue for other reasons, and work helps with that instead of being an additional source of anxiety and stress. When you have that in work, don't mess around with it. Ask yourself seriously the question, should I not stick to this, at least for as long as it makes me feel this way? Because particularly among you who have not, perhaps because you're young, likely because you're young, maybe you don't have a huge amount of work experience, you haven't been through lots of different positions across your professional career. You might not know that finding actual work that you love is not easy. Finding work that you like and that you like going to, that makes you feel good when you go to the workplace, that's almost as rare as finding work that you love. So be mindful of that. And just to come back to my example, I was told that in another structure, in another organization that's linked to mine, There's a position that opened up recently, and the job description is very similar to my job description. And I think that because of this and because of the overlapping of networks, I'd have a good chance of being recruited for that other position. And one of the serious attractions of it is the salary is quite a bit better. It's quite a bit better, right? But that raises a question. Why would I run into the unknown now that I have secured the content of work, a work thematic, and a work environment that I'm happy going to, that really suits me? How much of a bigger salary would justify just taking the risk of going into something that does not make me happy despite higher salaries? Because if I'm not going to stay in my future position, or if I'm going to be unhappy in my future position, does it really make sense to, even for a higher salary, does it really make sense? Would we not rather think in terms of, okay, I have a salary, it could be higher, but it meets my needs, it meets the needs of my family, say, but also it meets my psychological needs, it meets my soul needs, hence the word soul, okay? These themes are connected. You have to take care of your soul, and don't just think that because something is better paid and looks like it's going to be very similar to what you currently have, don't assume that it's going to be better. And if you have a history, just like myself, and no doubt like many other INFJs, of finding it really difficult to find a position that you're happy with, and there's many reasons why it's hard for INFJs to find positions that they're happy with, because the modern world is a hostile place for INFJs for lots of reasons, including the ideology of management and the workplace, particularly in the private sector. Lots of the rationale that is governed by short deadlines and return on investments and something that is thoroughly dehumanized really isn't going to fulfill your soul. It might pay you more, but it's not going to fulfill your soul. So ultimately, favor the happiness of your soul over the externalities of wealth, status, and prestige. This might be hard to resist, and maybe at the start of your career you won't be able to resist it, and maybe you should make those mistakes, so to speak. They might not even really be mistakes if they help you to grow. But you will see as you get older, as an INFJ and an older INFJ, nurturing your soul is the most important thing. And it comes before wealth, it comes before status, and it comes before prestige. Sometimes you will feel pressure from within yourself. Sometimes you will feel pressure from others who are convinced somehow that the best thing to do for you is to take whatever pays more. In fact, only you can truly be in touch with the health of your soul. Learn to listen to your soul. And maybe this book can help you with that. Anyway, so I better go back to work, because now that my break is over, and look at this environment. I mean, it's so nice. Why would I leave here? Why would I leave here? Well, until then, guys, don't forget, you can give me a thumbs up as well. And I will see you very soon, I'm sure. Take care. Bye-bye.